Nicks and bruises, we are back. Shout outs to the chat. Yo, Black is time. I got my guy Sim in the building with me. We got a short
Good.
one for
It's
you.
good. It's good. It's good.
It was good, Sim.
My bad. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
You're good, man. I didn't get to jump on a post game show last night. It was a tough win.
It was a tough one. It was a tough one, man.
You know
Washington
what I
played
mean?
good. They played some good ball for real.
They definitely did. Knicks coming off the back to back. Maybe that had something to do with the
Right.
lackluster
Yeah. Tough travel,
overall
back to
energy.
back, all of that. Yep.
Yeah, I think they got there at like 2:30 in the morning. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, Brunson came up in the clutch. Uh, there's another double nickel game in Knicks history, right? And this time
Yeah.
we on the winning end of it.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Right? You just mentioned another double nickel game going back to that Jordan game. I was just listening to Freddie Gibbs, a song called Knicks.
Okay.
And he starts like the entire song, he uses Knicks in different ways, but at the end of each verse, he ends it by saying, I seen somebody do something, something to the Knicks.
Mm.
In the first verse, he talks about he saw Jordan drop 55 on the Knicks. I'm like, yo, it's a dope song. And I'm like, damn, why you doing the sin like that?
And that was the Wizards, Mike, right?
Nah, that was the Bulls, Mike. When he came
Okay,
back,
that was when he came
that
back.
got him
All right, all
signed.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
I think he had
That
45.
would be a dope song for Knicks and Bruises. That Freddie
Oh,
Gibbs joint. It really would.
okay, okay,
Like,
maybe I look into it. Um, he had 45 on the Wizards against us, I think. Or Jordan when he came back and was
yeah,
on the
yeah,
Wizards,
45, something like that.
and I think he was wearing 45.
Yeah, he was wearing 45.
So, but yeah, another double nickel game. Brunson came through in the clutch, um, and we needed every point of it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cat. I think he had a good game too. He had 30 points. Macau had 21, but it felt like with those numbers from those three guys, that's 106 points from three guys. You would think it would be an easy night.
Right.
You know what I mean? We definitely didn't shoot the ball well from three, and it's good to see back to back wins. We're able to win games, and we're not playing well from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Which has been
Um,
a change for us.
yeah. The bench didn't give us much. And of course there's gonna be the argument that Tibbs just didn't play certain guys, you know what I mean? Um, it's you know, that Tibbs didn't play certain guys, that's why the bench didn't give us anything. Of course, that argument is there, you
And
know.
it doesn't help the narrative with him. So it's not like there's a benefit of the doubt in that situation. They clearly look tired, but I think that was from the travel more than from from their
Yeah,
overusage of
right.
play.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's not from the overusage of players. It's definitely from the travel.
I mean, even Deuce, I mean, he's played bad the last two games, to be honest. So we haven't got our normal spark from him. I did notice, Shaman's minutes increasing, maybe Payne's minutes decreasing. I don't know if that's what is your thoughts on that? Did you notice that? And do you
Uh,
think that's going to be the trend as far as the either or type situation, or
I don't know.
what,
It's
what do you
hard to say.
what do you
It's
think is
hard to
going on
say
there?
because, you know, that bench lineup is so small. People are calling and calling and calling and calling for the bench. But are
Mhm.
you really putting Deuce and Campaign and Shabbat out there
That's a great point.
for
Shuttle
for
had called.
for a long time span? Like, how small are we gonna be?
Yeah, Shuttle called me the other night with that same exact um point as far as the size. My response to that was though, um in the preseason prior to Sherman's injury, one of the standouts was his defense and the fact that was the role that he was, it was a three guard lineup in the preseason. Granted, it's preseason. Um, but Shamit's defense wasn't a detriment. You know what I mean? So I just it just made me wonder if he does use it, he's probably comfortable in it. And Tibbs used three guard lineups a lot in the past. Maybe
Uh-huh.
not with the Knicks per se, but in his history as a coach.
Right.
But those are, I mean, those are
That
valid points.
I just don't know if they're that small.
Those are definitely valid points. Shout out to
What
Sherwin
you're
and
talking.
Trell.
Deuce is like what 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2". I think Sherman might be 6'3". Kane might be Payne might be 6'3",
Oh, Landry Shamet 6'5".
6'5".
Yeah. So that's a little. That's a little more length.
Yeah, actually, I think we had that same discussion in the preseason and then looked it up and was surprised.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so you think it's gonna be like one or the other maybe, or do you see the three guy lineup running? Because I just say since Shaman's been back, he's had limited minutes, and since he's been back playing more, Payne's minutes have been decreased.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Do I see campaigns minutes being decreased? Shamit. They kind of play two different style of games, so you can have them both out there. Now that I'm looking at Shamit's size,
Hmm.
they play two different style of games, so you know.
Yeah. Um, what'd you think of Brunson's performance in general? Like I said, I did miss the show last night. Um,
Great performance.
and what do you think of the Knicks overall? I mean, there's been this report. This is the first time a team has had four guys have 40-point performances before the new year in the season.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, um, yeah, I expect more of that to come.
Right.
Did that stat surprise you though? Obviously they got to put the before the new year in there to make it qualify.
To
But
make it quality, yeah. To make
do you take any credence in that in general?
uh, not really. I don't.
I want to see what the stat
Not really.
is. I want to see what the stat is without putting that asterisk in there. You
Right.
know what I mean? And then you can
Right.
rank them amongst all teams.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay,
I think.
we the
I think.
earliest to do it. Cool.
With a critical eye, I think what I see from it is that our bench isn't deep enough.
Mm.
So these guys got to put up those. If we had DiVincenzo, let's just say, and he's putting up 15 to 17 a game, I think we see something different, you know. But our bench is just not our bench. And I know people say, "How do we know?" Because the bench don't play. I'm telling you, Tom Thibodeau knows because he's already seen them in practice. That's the reason why Shamit came right in and got in the rotation, right? Because Tibbs knows who can do what. I just don't think we have a deep enough bench. And so it is causing guys to play some extra minutes and have to produce a little bit more because we don't have that backup system, in my opinion.
Here's the thing though. I think especially I think there's an argument that our bench isn't and hasn't been whole for a significant stretch of the season. So that's one part of our bench deficiencies, right? Precious just getting back really. Shamit obviously just getting back. Deuce has been phenomenal for the most part all season. So that hasn't really been an issue from Deuce. I think he's in a slump currently, but overall, oh yeah, he's been good. I think there's an argument that could be said that we have at least three guys that can give you 20 on any given night. I know I always use that differential between every night and any night, but I think we got Precious that could give you, pardon me, Shamit that could give you 20 on any given night. Deuce can give you 20. on any given night, and Cam as well. Now they're not going to give that to you every night. You know what I mean? But I think the bench is still adequate. You know what I mean? Like I
I mean,
don't
yeah,
know,
I think they're adequate. I think we need that instant boost of offense, I think.
and hopefully Shamit can give you that. But no matter what, I think there is truth to the fact that it is about the minutes as well. You know what I mean? If you want guys to produce and give you that 20-point performance, I think they have to be given a significant amount of minutes, or at the very least know they're getting that same amount of minutes night in and night out. Um,
Yeah, I think it kind of goes to me. I think it kind of goes. You put the guy in, and if he's hot that night, you know he's going to get more minutes. If he's not hot that night, he may or may not, depending on the matchups. You know, because we know it's not going to be a consistent thing from him. You know what I mean? It's not going to be consistent every night that campaign gives you 20, in my opinion.
no, but the fact that you're saying we need that guy, even if we bring somebody in, his role is gonna have to be a set amount of minutes for him to be able to
Yeah,
produce that night in and night out.
right. But
So
the thing when you bring that guy in, you know what I'm saying? Like the consistent production is there. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll have a guy and you might say, okay, this guy gave us 15 points 3 nights in a row. We're gonna give him a consistent 25 minutes. And then for the next 10 games, he gives you 5. And you're like, okay, maybe this wasn't the move. But with a guy that you know is gonna be able to get you buckets, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be that effective every night. You know what I'm saying? And so they're gonna be that effective every night. Or if they only get 10 minutes, right? They're giving you half the points.
half the points up.
You know what I'm saying? And so okay, well, let me increase it to 15 minutes.
So
Now let
maybe
me
it's
increase
more
it to
about
20 minutes.
it's also more about the role that guy is in, right? So him coming off the bench, his role has to be go get a bucket. So it's
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's not going to be necessarily fill the minutes. Like you have a specific role
yeah.
in your
And you
minutes.
gotta go do it and get it done. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's about that consistency though. Is this guy consistently going to give me these 15 points off the bench? When I get this guy 10 minutes, he gets 7, 8 points. When I give him 15 minutes, he gets 10 points. When I give him 20 minutes, he's giving me 15 points. And there's no diminishing returns. Or
Mhm.
maybe after 20 minutes is the diminishing returns. But you know, uh, at some point with most players that come off the bench, there's a point where their production diminishes. You know, and that usually separates your starters from your bench players.
Do you think that is more critical, like bringing somebody in that role, or relying on, like I said, three guys that could potentially give you that on any given night, but not gonna give you that consistency, or
I think,
could build to that consistency.
yeah,
Because
I think
honestly,
we need
Deuce
a guy.
hasn't. I think Deuce has been pretty steady this year overall.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think we need a guy because those guys, like that 6-man guy as a starter, you could plug them in as a starter and they're going to give you the same production. They're basically a starter coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna give you that production even as a starter. Now, I mean, I'm not saying like superstar numbers, but if they're
Mhm.
averaging 15 a game, they're gonna give you 15 a game as a starter too. You know what I'm saying? Because they can run with the starters. Uh, you know, I mean, when I look at to me, in my opinion, and I know there's a lot of people that disagree with me, there's a reason that Shamit and Campaign, getting the veterans minimum or was on an Exhibit 10 contract. You know, say that there's a reason. Now they're both vets. So they were good pickups because they're vets. They know how to play the game. They know how to stay ready. But I believe in the NBA, the cream rises to the top and the other players fall out. There may be some politics here and there, but for the most part, that's how I think it happens. And I think there's a reason why those guys were, you know, Exhibit 10 and vet minimum. You know,
So, I mean, from how you're speaking, it sounds like the only solution is the trade market. And that being said, that still leads towards trading Mitchell Robinson. Um, if you don't think Shamit could excel into that role, Deuce could excel into that role, Cam could excel into that role. I would think is a lesser chance of a guy in the G League like um Okiki stepping into that role, or even TJ Warren.
yeah, TJ Warren's not stepping into that role. I don't
So
think so. I don't think so.
all that being said, the only way to kind of move in that direction, or bring that guy in, is moving Mitchell Robinson. I don't think you could unless you Precious's contract is not going to bring back that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Mitch is probably the only high value player that has a decent enough contract to bring in that type of guy. Um, am I right in assuming that's how you feel? Like that's you got to go in that direction more than kind of
I guess
relying
my
on
thing is,
one of
do you
the
have
guys
to go in that
internally.
direction? Do you have to go in that direction this year?
Okay, because I'm looking at it like I rather look at what we have internally. I rather bank on, you know what I mean, Shamit solidifying that role with his specific skill set as well, being a plus, or Deuce stepping into that role,
Uh,
which I mean it's less likely. Obviously, Cam the same thing, less likely, but
now
I rather I
the
rather
thing
look
about Deuce,
internally.
the thing about Deuce compared to Cam and Shamit is Deuce is rising in the league, right? These guys are like in the middle
Tail
and
end.
tail end, tailing down in their career. Deuce is rising, so you keep Deuce because he might be that guy. I thought maybe he would have a breakout season to be that guy this year, and he still can. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you definitely keep Deuce because he's rising. Those other guys, you know, they I wouldn't expect them guys to probably be here next year, to be honest with you.
And from what you're describing, it perfectly describes Josh Hart, to be honest. Like I feel like if that was one of my reasons of maybe wanting to tweak the lineup early in the year, or before
Uh,
the season started, is because I figured he's gonna give you what he gives you whatever role he's in, whether he's
right,
starting, whether he's coming
right,
off the bench. You
right.
know what I mean? Like you getting
You
that
get
you know what I mean, up to 15, you know what I mean? You getting the
17
rebounds, you getting the
rebounds,
effort, you getting the
assists.
playmaking.
Yeah, you
Like
get that.
it doesn't change. So
No, you're getting that. No
um
matter what, you're getting that.
so that being said, if you're upgrading your defense, which still tends to be a problem. I mean, we just won a game, gave up 85 points, and now, last night against the Wizards, I mean, we win by one. We win by one. We won in overtime. I forgot what the
3,
score was,
2 or 3, something like that.
but either way, we gave up way too many points. Had a fight to
Yeah.
go into overtime. Um, Defense still seems to be an issue with us. Um, How you feeling where we are now defensively? Obviously it is still getting better. I can't,
Right. I
I
mean,
can't take that away from us.
for the
Um,
month of December, they've been like a top 5 defense.
yes,
Right now, the competition hasn't been as good, but they've been a top 5 defense for the month of December. So hopefully the defense is moving in the right direction right now.
but what I'm asking is, I mean, that's obviously a good sign, and I've been riding on that all year, from going from 2026 to 19th. You know what I mean? That's a big jump. and we continually keep getting closer and closer to the,
Right.
top 10.
We may be even higher than 19th now.
Oh yeah, we definitely are because we got to 16th at one point, and
Yeah.
that was before the 85-point game.
Right.
So we definitely are. I just didn't bother bother to look it up before the show, but we're definitely probably like I wouldn't be surprised if we're 12th, because remember even the point differential between like ninth and 14th was a point at one point. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're like 12th.
Yeah.
Um, so that being said, would you continue to ride with this starting five and live with the continued growth of the defense,
I mean,
or
right
I
now,
mean
I think,
down the line, or you know what I mean, whether it's making a move. Well, I'll get into making a move in a second, but I'll say Mitchell Robinson's return. Like how do you judge that?
uh, I don't know. See, right now with the starting five, we're so deep into the season. By the time
So
Mitch comes back, we're talking February, right? I'm not changing the starting lineup at that point. So now you got, are we bringing Precious and Mitch off the bench together? I guess there's a way you can maybe stagger the lineup somehow so that they don't play together. You know, um, so, but I'm not changing the starting five at this point. I'm just rocking with it right now.
I feel mixed emotions about it. Like I feel like we should change it. I just don't know if starting Mitchell Robinson right away is the right answer, or starting Precious right away, or starting Precious, because I do think we got to separate Precious and Mitch from playing together as much as possible. So I wouldn't mind putting one of the two in the starting lineup, and not necessarily Mitch because he's coming right back. I do feel like Josh, he is not a demotion for him. You know what I mean, to him, because it's
Right.
not based off of his play, but just the fact that like we was just saying, I don't think his play changes no matter
Yeah,
what his role is,
right. And
and
he'll
and
play
he
any role. He's willing to play any role. So
and he could help playing alongside Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? Like so I think it's like a win-win for the team type situation. I do get the whole thing of not fixing something that isn't broke,
uh,
but I think the answer to that is doing it for defensive purposes. Um, and you do get a chance currently. I don't know how much we've seen it as of yet, but you get a chance to see that lineup before Mitchell Robinson even gets here for whatever spurts of minutes that they,
right.
you know what I mean. So maybe look into that data, see what that looks like, and it may be feasible to do it just based off the data. Celtics just lost, so we a game behind them, I believe.
One game behind them.
Memphis looks like they about to lose, so we about to surpass them and be the fourth best team in the
Well,
league,
well, they're 22-10 right now.
tied
Memphis
with us.
tied with us. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We're
so they lose. We surpassed them as the fourth, you know what I
yeah,
mean, the fourth best team in the league.
yeah,
Um, we've been grinding and climbing slowly,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
still don't think we've seen our best. You know what I mean, like our best basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean, like we've seen great basketball, but I still don't think it's peaked. I'm still gonna stand on. I don't think we're gonna even see our best basketball until next year. Like once we kind of really have something to build off. You know what I mean? Like right now, this is like a test study. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to base anything off of. All you could really do is grow, learn, make mistakes, learn from the mistakes. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. See what works, see what doesn't. Um, Man, I don't know, man. I'm just super excited. I wish I was gonna be there with you guys tomorrow night. Um, the powers that be said I made the decision I wasn't gonna go a couple days ago, and,
Uh,
and right after I made that decision, I got reinforcements that I wasn't going.
okay.
If I decided to go, so yeah, it's always something that pops up. Um, but hey, I'm sure you
Yeah.
guys gonna have a good time.
Now we're gonna have a great
Um,
time, man. It's gonna be fun. Uh, you know,
I,
yeah.
I, I ain't gonna front. Watching that game last night
I think it's gonna
made
be
me really sad that I wasn't gonna be there
yeah.
because the Knicks fans was there,
Oh,
like just hearing it from the TV, the you know what I mean, like so
yeah,
I'm like, man, I wish I was gonna be a part of that one
man.
tomorrow.
And they're gonna be
Um,
crazy again tomorrow.
what's your thoughts on that though? Because not just Washington now, like we've seen it in the West
Yeah.
Coast now, we've seen it obviously all throughout the East Coast for years, but it's never been this prevalent. Um, do you think you've noticed it more now than ever before,
Oh
or
yeah. Yeah. Definitely more now, I think.
and
Because
obviously we probably haven't been this popular. You know what I mean? Like people coming out the woodworks
haven't been this good,
that,
and
that
there's
had
more New Yorkers moving to other places
as
as
time goes by.
cost gets higher, people are moving to other places. Now DC is expensive too, but DC has Knicks fans who are born in DC, right? Because the Wizards haven't been good for a very long time, and Patrick Ewing played at
At
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
So you
So
got people who became Knicks fans because they followed Patrick Ewing to the Knicks as, Georgetown fans, and then they followed Ewing and became Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? And so they just became Knicks fans. And so there's so many Knicks fans here because of Patrick Ewing and because of people moving from New York to DC. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like DC is one of the only other places on the East Coast and in the country that sells Ewings in the store. You can go into a store and buy a pair of Ewings. Select stores, not every store, but it's not like that everywhere.
speaking of which, shout out to Patrick Ewing who was at the game, got mad love at the game as well last night. Um, yeah, man, this is exciting, man, to see the Deuce chant in every other arena. You know what I mean, home or away, whatever. It don't matter to hear MVP chants on the road, to
Yeah.
hear them boo their home team. Like we've seen that at a couple of different other arenas.
Diaz will be there. He'll be there. He'll be there tomorrow.
No doubt.
He'll be with us tomorrow. Shout out to you.
But I ain't gonna miss the next one, man.
Yeah.
Whether it's away or on the road, you know what I mean. I know we was talking about possibly some other location, so you know what I mean. Just let me know as soon as you make the decision.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm looking. I know the Knicks play in Philly January 15th. That's kind of close. But they also play in Philly, I think in March or April. I was thinking about trying to do that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good, man. Appreciate you, Sin, for jumping on with me. I've been gone a minute. I mean, under the weather, car
Yeah.
issues. You know
I'm,
what I mean? Uh,
I'm a little. You can hear me stuffed up. I'm going off camera so I can blow my nose and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
um, but yeah,
trying,
man, enjoy the show. What time you think you going live tomorrow?
trying to
So
go
I can
like
make sure I could tune in.
6:15 just to just talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The spot that we normally would have went to is closed down.
Oh,
And it's
really?
just it's just Caesar Sportsbook now. So we're gonna go to Clyde's. Told Steph earlier, I'm gonna send an email to everyone. We're gonna go to Clyde's, try to meet there at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Maybe do a little, just go live with the people that's there from my phone and say what's up real quick, then start moving into the arena.
No doubt, son, man. I wish I could have made it. Give everyone my love. Let them know your blackest time.
Will do.
I don't expect tomorrow's game to be as close as
Me
the
neither.
yesterday's game.
Me neither.
Um, we got a chance, man. What's this? That was 7. Tomorrow could be 8. I think we got Utah after that. I know
Yeah,
people talked about it getting rough in January. I looked at the schedule, Sim. It's not that scary. It's not as scary as people made it look. Um, and honestly, I looked at the rest of the season and I put an optimistic judgment on it. Um, the rest of the season don't look real scary. Like
yeah,
we can handle business, and that 55 win season don't don't seem out of the realm of possibility.
yeah,
This was our January. I mean, yeah. I mean, December was was last year's January, but I also think we're gonna get better. So I don't think this is gonna be our best month. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I feel you. Hey,
But
January 3rd though, Thunder. That's gonna be the game.
yeah, we got them back to back, third and 10th,
Yeah.
Friday and Friday, I think.
Yep.
Um, yeah, those are two tests. You know what I mean? We got tough ones, but even if you count those tough ones as L's, I don't see this. You know what I mean? I don't see us having. It's not that scary. It's only a couple of tough. It's like 2 to 3 tough teams a month the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, see what we can do, man.
Let's figure it out. Oh, enjoy your time soon.
No doubt.
Tell everybody, you know what I mean? I missed them. I loved them. I wish I was there. I'll be at the next one. Shout out to the chat replay game. Yo, Black is time. I might do something tomorrow before the game
Okay.
as well, but
No doubt.
I'll be on way before you guys. So
Yeah.
salute.
All
Appreciate
right.
you.
Peace.
Till next time, Yo, Black is